Live from the gateway to the west, Omaha, Nebraska. This is League One volleyball with a midweek matchup between Salt Lake and Omaha. Jordan Larson and her Omaha teammates have been on a bit of a rough road, losing their last 5 matches. Head coach Susie Fritz has a riddle to figure this out.
It's a frustrating process that we are, I feel like, just clawing and scratching, and we were right there, and at times played exceptionally well and clean and low air, and we're winning the serve and pass battle and had a lot of pressure on them and making great decisions, and then we weren't.
Salt Lake, meanwhile, coming off of a really nice win over Houston, who have been red hot. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson alongside 2-time Olympian Kevin Barnett. Kevin, we just heard from Susie Fritz. What do these teams need to do to dial in halfway through the season?
Well, look, this is where coaches earn their money, right? When everything's going well, that's easy. It's when you run into this kind of trouble spots that you have to set the tone for your team, and Susie Fritz is doing that, taking everything back to process and try and be more about the process rather than the outcome, because if you execute, the outcome takes care of itself.
Looking at the lineup, Omaha again going to be playing a 5-1 due to personnel. Herrera is back. Looking at Salt Lake's lineup, well, you'll notice that it is Haiti Casanova on the opposite. If you've been watching, it has been Skylar Fields. Kevin, take us through the Adidas scouting report.
For Salt Lake City, do you serve Justine Wong-orantes? She was only 33% perfect in the last match. I'd maybe give her a try. On the Omaha side, what category are you going to win? Medium in every category doesn't win in this league. Is it serve? Is it block? Is it transition scoring? And then for both teams, whose pins break out? This match will be one on the pins. Who gets transition kills? Who gets those out of system kills? Who takes big confident swings? The tip roll jam to success era in women's volleyball, that's over.
That's done with the talent that we have on the floor. For Susie Fritz, she has had to be innovative, going from the 6-2 to the 5-1. Jordan Poulter going to start us off. And immediately they go after Maddie Kubik-Banks. Ronnie Jones-Perry with heat to begin.
And this is what I would do if I'm Salt Lake. I'm going to set number 12 as many times as possible to begin this match. She hit 407 in the last match. Absolutely the offensive leader. See if you can continue that run for her.
And again, they go after Maddie Kubik-Banks. The governor, no block.
We talked about good ideas. Well, they're also bad ideas. And that is leaving Jordan Larson with a wide open net. But that's credit to Laura Dykema, the setter who's been running that 5-1. These are Olympians who played on the opposite side of the net from each other for so long. It's a joy for them to play together.
Casanova's first swing picked up by Ronnie Jones-Perry, otherwise known as RJP. Put it straight in the center. Here's Laura Dykema to Drevniak, Kimberly Drevniak, off hands. Susie Fritz spent her collegiate career at Kansas State. Here, Kevin, the biggest challenge, the talent's totally different.
Absolutely. Sometimes you have players you know aren't going to play, players you know are going to stand out. Here, everyone's a standout in this league. It's actually been a big adjustment, not only for the coaches, but also for the players. Typically, the American side are the ones that are bought and paid for overseas to be the stars. Here, some of them are sitting some of the time.
Ronnie Jones-Perry, this time blasts off high hands.
Yeah, and right back to her. I love this plan from Tamamiya Shiro, the head coach at Salt Lake, to get number 12 going. Here from the service line, you want her to get going as well. She's been a little bit up and down, but she can be incredibly dangerous. It all comes down to the toss. And I don't like that. I don't like the way that that toss is done. I would make some changes if I were Tamamiya Shiro to the toss here for Ronnie Jones-Perry. I would have her throw a high ball and go hit that.
Tamamiya Shiro, first head coaching position for her. I like her vulnerability, working with her team. It's a collaboration you can feel from Tamamiya Shiro and her team. Now, serving for Omaha is Candelaria Herrera. She's got a brace on her right knee. She had missed some matches with a leg injury. Having her back helps shore up things. Lauren Stivrins not available tonight to play.
Yeah, Candelaria Herrera saying that she's going to see how long she can go as you hear the crowd.
Yeah, that's Lexi Rodriguez coming in to serve. This team has not played at home in 40 days, and Rodriguez did not get in last time.
Give the people what they want.
Again, with no libero on the floor, Justine Wong-Orantes, you've got now Lexi Rodriguez. Popped up and good. Little communication. And Maddie Kubik-Banks.
Love the swing from Banks. What I'd like to see on that is I want to see Lexi take charge of that ball. Play that libero role, fire in there, lead Jordan Larson to hit out of the bic and get going. Good news for both teams. That swing from Kubik-Banks, if she can get a couple more, that means both sides have their pins going.
I wonder if for a fresh out of college, moving the governor aside, right? 4-time Olympian, you've got to do it.
Well, you could
Jordan
ask
wants
politely. You could ask, excuse me.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Excuse me, Your Excellency. Could you shift right? I would drop one short here.
Rodriguez came in versus Madison, did some nice work defensively in the backcourt. She does not drop it short, goes at Kojima, the libero. And that'll end her serving run. You talked about serving Justine Wong-Orantes as a scalar set. What about serving Kojima on the other side? She went there, it kind of surprised me, or does it surprise you?
I thought it was a good serve. I thought Kojima did an excellent job of fighting that off. Sometimes you hit a good serve and a player makes an even better play. I'm fine with challenging anybody on the service if you're hitting a quality serve. I think the issue is more if you throw a free ball at Kojima, then you're just in trouble with the other side coming in with perfect offense.
Jordan Larson was over having a quick chat with Brian Hemmelgarn, our official, and now something at the scorer's table being adjusted. We don't know exactly what it is. Meanwhile, 40 days since they last played here. For this Omaha team being on the road, having this 5-match skid, kind of what else is playing into their need today to turn things around? They've got the opportunity at home, more rest.
Being in your own house is key, obviously. It's fun to be at home and enjoy that. For Omaha and Susie Fritz, I wouldn't be too worried. It's been close. You're getting frustrated, obviously, with the results, but you've been right there. Susie Fritz said that in that interview, but she also has said you need to have more good plays in a row. That's been partly the message. We need to string together more good plays in a row. That's the key to winning for us. That'll get you that +2 points that you need to win the sets to close out matches.
Taking a look at the standings, you see Omaha and Salt Lake. Further down, Atlanta's been on a tear since the beginning of the season, 8-1.
And this is a huge match for Salt Lake. You don't want to fall to the bottom. Psychologically, you're now at the bottom, tied with Madison, who's won 2 in a row. They're kind of on the way up. You don't want to be the team on the way down.
Dip into the middle. Sometimes a little change of pace does work.
Sometimes you just have to get conservative. That ball too far off and smartly done right to the middle.
And a rotation with no libero on the floor, by the way.
You have to convert this one now, too. Keep the run going.
Fader from the middle. Drebniak slides underneath with a Pancock. How about that for a transition?
If you want an early play to exemplify what this league is all about, it is hard to get a kill in the gym because of plays like this, the little stuff.
Tight ball, Poulter to Washington. If you're late to the block, RJP will make you pay.
Yeah, it was Claire Hoffman that time on the outside, coming in quick. Hoffman, one of those players who's been added into the Salt Lake starting lineup recently and been experiencing a bunch of success. She will stabilize your serve reception as well, making everyone around her better.
Played her collegiate ball at Washington, did Hoffman. Back to Hoffman again.
The other thing this league is doing is exposing you to players that you may not know are professional players. Emily Fader, multiple seasons overseas. She is a consummate professional who probably no one had heard of before, and she's a stud in this league.
Jaali Washington, and again, catching Fader.
Slicing it just inside of the block, and sometimes you get lucky as an outside or an opposite or a middle on that backside. You're just shoving it inside of the opposing blocker, even though you hit the meat of the block.
Good pass to get things started. Fader going head hunting, does not get anyone.
So let's see if Laura Dykema goes right back to her. That repeat setter. If you're a hitter, you love it.
The confidence set. Nope. Here's an opportunity. Well, the Cubic Banks says, you go ahead, I'll take care of the pass, and does.
Little national team matchup there. Jordan v. Jordan.
A lot of history. I'm waiting for the conversation between Jaali Washington and her national team teammates. Washington again shut down as Herrera and Larson combine.
Jordan Larson was all over that left very early to get all the way to the pin and shut that ball down. Sometimes you as a blocker, you've made a read, you've gotten rid of your responsibilities, and you're free to focus on the hitter in front of you.
Ronnie Jones-Perry up top again. It's her jump too, her elevation combined with her strength. It's like posing for a picture up there.
She's so physical at the net, and that's why I think the ceiling, there is no ceiling for this woman in on the outside. If you can get her in a good rhythm, if you can get that set dialed in, that is trouble for everybody involved.
Backcourt attack as Cubic Banks stepped on the 3-meter line.
I saw a little bit of this in the warm-up.
Yeah,
People being over in the warm-up hitting dicks, and never like that in the warm-up. I think it translates to a match.
You mean like in college when they're warming up and hitting the net every time and there's no block?
I think you're likely to play very similar to the way that you warm up.
Poulter back outside. We have our first timeout. It's the media timeout. Omaha up by 4. League One Volleyball is presented by Adidas and by Love Finals, where the first League One Volleyball champion will be crowned. Join us April 10th, 11th, and 13th at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville. Tickets are now on sale. Go to LOVBfinals.com for more details. How big of a deal is it for this league to be in the United States? Well, Jordan Larson, the most decorated female Olympian, 4 medals. Look at her journey, Kevin, and where she's been playing over the last 15 years.
It has been quite a journey, and she has been exceptional everywhere she's gone. Multiple-time Champions League MVP, and now brought all of that talent back to the U.S.
Yeah, this morning, before I left my house, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's been almost 15 years, almost in tears, like driving to practice, like in my own car, and I get to go to my own house, and like it's just like so surreal, and I wish I could put it in better words, because it's a dream come true for my family to be here.
And I mean, so surreal that she's been able to like get a dog and host the family at her house. She said she had several Christmas celebrations. Team came over, parents.
And for Jordan Larson, she's not only had an exceptional career, she's had an exceptionally long career.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of the women that have been in these multiple Olympic Games, been on the national team for a decade or so, to have made it to this moment where professional volleyball in America is an option and a thing and get to participate, quite the achievement to just make it.
Not the ideal set to Casanova. Dykema through traffic to Cubic Banks. Long rally, longest one we have seen so far. Heat from Haiti is wide. Oh wait, it did touch the line. Reversal by our top official.
These are the kind of rallies, if you're Omaha, you can't lose. You need to extend your lead through these rallies. You had 2 good in-system opportunities to take a big swing and score it. You have to convert when you have a chance. All right, I said before, I hate the toss, because the toss in this manner of teaching is meant to be just high enough that you can attack it, as though it's a fast set. I completely disagree with that manner of thinking as a jump server. I want to throw the ball high, give myself a moment to pause, and then attack the ball as though I just gave myself a high ball set. It's the only closed chain skill in the game. There are no other opportunities where you initiate the action and you complete the action, as Lexi Rodriguez gives the fans what they want.
Kojima answers back, and then a big-time block. Fader and Drevniak combined.
You want to see the growth of women's volleyball encapsulated in one player. It is little number 1 from Sterling, Illinois. And how much the fans love her and know her. The growth of this game collegiately has been monstrous.
Casanova gets a touch. A big part of it, too, of course, is social media that wasn't around, let's say, when Justine Wong-Orantes was playing. And so for Lexi Rodriguez, almost 200,000 followers on Instagram, and I don't have TikTok to know what she's got, but I'm sure it's even more than that.
Well, maybe we'll get a look at her dancing later, and we'll have a feel for how big her TikTok might be.
There we go. Larson, first touch.
You're going to see a challenge here. You should, Susie Fritz. You got to hit the button. Needed to make that decision earlier, and already the challenge called here. I think that ball was down. Susie Fritz go Letterman sweater for this second home match.
The League One volleyball gear is beautiful. Does this ball down? Yeah, right in front of the foot. Yep. Successful challenge for Susie Fritz. She will still have 2 remaining. Kimberly Drevniak from Germany. There's Haley Washington on a connection. Washington had been out with a calf injury. Good to see her back. Substitution coming in. It's a blocking substitution. Skylar Fields enters. There's no designated setter on the floor, and so it'll be Kojima, my guess is, as Casanova serves. Power. Cubic Banks again. Back, Claire Hoffman turns it down the line.
Smart swing by Hoffman, using the edge of the block to initiate this rally. I love the pass by Cubic Banks, and she may see another here from Haiti Casanova. Talked to Cubic Banks about her experience. She said, I had a dream to play in Italy, and one of the things I discovered when I was there, there's a wide variety of serves. Every player has 2 or 3 serves, and there's a ton of hybrids and jumpers that can be deadly. Fights off another.
Rebniak blistering from the backcourt.
Kubic Banks also told me, he said, look, I was used to being the ball control player, the player that everybody stayed away from and nobody served, and I was giving support to everybody else. Here professionally, I get targeted. I get every serve when I went overseas, and now she's passing next to Justine Wong-orantes and Jordan Larson.
Right.
Yeah, you get every serve.
I was going to say, covered in medals.
Yeah, the other people are covered in medals, so you're covered in service receive attempts.
Yeah, exactly. I always think, as we look at that for Rebniak, I always think when we see these outside hitters getting tons of serves, and I was saying to you before the show, I feel like they should be saying thank you, thank you. It's the experience that they need if they want to stand out and get to the Olympic Games someday.
Yeah, but I don't think it feels like that in the moment.
No, that's why I'm trying to inspire gratitude. 56 serves, yep, thank you. Fields.
Yeah, so we've gone double sub here on the Salt Lake side, trying to generate something. And Fields, of course, 2-time Player of the Week league-wide in that backup role at the moment.
Tamaki Matsui setting. Also from Japan, plays with Kojima. Wow.
I think Jordan Larson should do this more. I like when she gets a little more aggressive with it, gets a little more poppy, and takes more risk. Jordan is perhaps the cleanest outside hitter that's ever played in an American uniform. She will reset, she will roll, she will tip, she will jam, and make smart choices.
Right.
But they're not generating a ton of kills all the time. I want a little more risk for her team.
Fields. There's Fields' strength, right? She gets up, she goes over, incredibly high flyer.
Yeah, we were talking to Jordan Poulter right about the differences in the opposites. She said, Fields, she can climb that ladder. I need to throw her ball a little bit higher. It can still have pace to it, but it's got to have pace to a height. If you're going to throw her an alley-oop, you got to throw that thing at the top of the box. Don't be throwing it around the rim level.
Right, okay.
All right, she doesn't need that. She can go top of the box and straight in.
Meanwhile, to your earlier point there, Larson tries a little tenderness. It scores. As long as it scores, you're okay, right?
Well, for her, it does.
Right.
Although she hits more zeros than anybody else on her side. If you look at her numbers and Drevniak's numbers, almost identical in terms of hitting efficiency, but they get there in different ways. Drevniak, more kills, more errors. Larson, on the other hand, has almost no errors, but has a lot more zeros because she's resetting and rolling plays.
We just did this in practice the other day. So here we go, come on.
You want to know how practice translates?
What are we running with the middle? What do you run with middle? You go. Yes.
When Tamami Ashira says we just did this in practice the other day, what she means is we played a game, a set that was 2015 and the first team had to come back. You put them down 5 and you say you have to come back and win the set or you lose the drill.
Let's just turn a few more.
You notice the engagement there too? Who was talking a lot?
Danny Drews.
Danny Drews not in the match, right?
Right.
Who else was talking a lot? Mary Lake, not in the match.
Yep.
They have a totally different viewpoint and an opportunity to provide a different point of view, perhaps some different possibilities to the players that are on the floor. That's full engagement.
Laura Dykem is serving. Matsui to Tori Dixon in the middle. It's still good, it's up. Going back, there's the confidence set again to Dixon.
So they'll unwind the double sub here. Haiti Casanova back in along with Jordan Poulter to that right back. Drevniak's going to run all the way around here in row 1 and hit on the right. And they aim for her. That's a really nice serve, because not only is it into the gap between two receivers, but it's also aiming where the opposite is going to be. Watch Drevniak here, middle of the screen. She'll run to the left, behind, and that ball's coming right at her. She's like a carnival duck at that point, and you're just trying to pick her off.
Well, and that's the game plan, right? That is something that Tamamiya Shiro told us earlier, is on that long run for the opposites, they want to do that. So the execution, it went long, but the idea is right.
And two things I like from Salt Lake as it relates to their head coach. One, the engagement of everybody. That's credit to the coach and the players. Two, executing the game plan, as you just mentioned.
Missed opportunity for Salt Lake, and Omaha rolls on. Substantial lead.
They've played awfully clean here. They're hitting .430 in this first set. And just so you know, 43% of the time wins every time. Even though we're not in San Diego.
Going back to Dixon a third time. You know, the evolution of Maddie Kubik-Banks has been really interesting, because she wasn't somebody who saw a lot of time earlier. What do you think her biggest jump and improvement is in order to get this time?
Confidence. Because when you get a start, you get to play an entire match, an entire set. It's way different than coming in as the emergency sub.
Ace to end it for Jordan Larson. Omaha takes set number 1.
Said they had to win some categories. Hitting .450 and an ace to win it, dominating the service part of the game. Omaha answered a couple of those questions already with categories that they are dominating with set 1. Now they're just going to have to carry it.
Omaha set 1. We'll take a look at any adjustments Salt Lake might make.
Love, League One Volleyball.
Omaha victorious in the first set over Salt Lake and Ronnie Jones-Perry, but not because this hitter wasn't doing what she does. Set to the outside here. She's in perfect relationship with the ball and can crank it down the line. Look at another set here. She's inside this time, but same relationship with the ball, can go line, but there's a blocker there. She goes angle. Now, what if the set is way inside? Well, here, she gets away with one. RJP takes off here and then contacts the ball all the way across 4 feet later. That's not how you do it. Luckily, she has the arm skills to get a kill there. Watch them all in full speed here. Watch her options in the first 2. And then really no options here. She just goes high flat for the winner. If Ronnie Jones-Perry can consistently get in that relationship where her feet are under the ball and she has full extension, her power is just going to create kills. There are hitters who will need that relationship to just have a chance for a kill. You're going to get a kill out of this woman here. As we look at her numbers in the last 8 matches, 4 up, 4 down. Well, how's that been? Every other match. She'll hit 400, hit 3 and hit 0, hit 365, hit 100. She hit 407 in the last match, so Salt Lake's hoping to change that around right now. And you love confidence in every aspect of the game as she picks up that stuff there.
Beautiful block combined with Tori Dixon. Now she's back to the service line again for Ronnie Jones-Perry. We have seen her go long. We have seen her go into the net.
Right, the porridge will be just right this time. Or it's still cold.
Or not. Yeah.
Yeah, I would change the mechanics of that, but I like what she's doing at the net here. 4 of 8 with 1 error. And honestly, that error, she was working high, going through the hands, looking for the back line. It was a good swing, just happened to miss it.
Casanova gets a clean swing.
Haiti's going to be 3 of 7 now. And I like the variety of swings I've seen from her so far. Sometimes she can get into the habit of just being too low and right into the block. Here, she's had an excellent connection thus far this evening. And she's just not the highest jumper, but she probably has the most power.
She's incredibly powerful. Connection to Thader, up and available.
And I love the connection afterwards, too.
Yeah.
Right, she gets the kill, and then they're nose to nose. Hey, good play. Hey, good play. Hey, good play.
Yeah.
I know you. I know you.
That's the way you get set again. You're the best setter ever. Coulter trying to get her middles really active. From the backcourt, Drevniak. What does she do well?
It's a good question with Drevniak. I like that she waited right there. And I don't know if you caught Justine Wong-Orantes pointed at her, called a shot. All right, you're getting the ball. So she was ready, but she waited knowing the ball was going to come off the platform nice and high. Any hitter who can stay behind the ball is going to stand a better chance of success.
Back to Casanova again. Gets a piece of hands.
Yeah, the high flat has revolutionized the game, and part of that is the incorporation of the instant replay.
Yep.
Without the instant replay, you wouldn't see nearly the amount of high flat that you do today because it wouldn't get called, it wouldn't be successful, it'd just be a hitting error.
And what we're talking about with the hitting replay, the instant replay, is the challenges. 2 per set. If you win them, you keep them. If not, you lose 1.
All right, Maddie Kubik-Banks off to an outstanding start, and that is good news for Omaha. And I like her aggressiveness. I not only like just the results, but she's been hyper-aggressive even on off plays. She's keeping herself behind the ball, and she's being very deliberate with it. She's not being timid.
Claire Hoffman. The thing on Kubik-Banks that I'm seeing is like a joy and a looseness from Omaha that we didn't see in some matches during the stretch. They looked much more stressed.
Well, it's a good way to play. Credit to Fritz, credit to the veterans on this team. You got to let it fly at some point and kind of shake that thing off and just move yourself forward.
Salt Lake, meanwhile, I believe that was their 5th service error, waiting for it to update. Kind of a missed 2 ways there. Ball looked like it was heading out, but Kojima handles it. And then RJP out and wide. No libero on the floor for Omaha right now. Washington behind. Here's Drevniak again. Shut it down. That even got the governor excited.
If you watch the last match, there was some frustration showing through when Omaha couldn't close out Atlanta. They had their chances, right? And Jordan, I think, was getting very frustrated with not only that match, but the overall losing streak. Rightfully so here. I love her positive energy post-play.
Come down, says, still got it. Or is that you who says that? I think it's you.
No, I don't have it anymore.
Pound town.
Jordan Larson does. If I'm Salt Lake, I'm going to streak number 12 a little bit. Off to a nice start, in a good rhythm. She could be your big stick if you just feed her a bit more.
Herrera handles that first ball, takes her out of the options. Poulter moving her middles, sticks him from behind. Ronnie Jones-Perry ripping open the seam of the block.
You see how hard you have to work to get a kill in this league. It's getting worse too as these teams play each other more often.
Another ripper from Jordan Larson, who has proved to be effective in a variety of ways. What you were talking about earlier, cross heavy, down the line, a little tenderness tip, and a stuff block.
Yeah, I'm good with the variation as long as some of that variation is power.
I think she's satisfied your requirements so far, right? There's been some good power.
She's killing.
Meanwhile, you don't see a lot of seam ripping open in this league, but Ronnie Jones-Perry just did it twice. A seam between Herrera and Drevniak. Now this is that same rotation again where we're going to see Drevniak do the long run around. Will Poulter try to catch her on the way?
Yeah, watch if it goes to the right of Banks, and it does, but a little short. Some of the adjustments that have been made with this 5-1 they're running on the Omaha side, on the defensive side of the ball. Kubik Banks here, watch her in the middle of the screen. She's going to slide to the right. Now, the hands end up getting pulled, but she's playing to the right because they have the setter up there. And Maddie said that's been a big adjustment to having a smaller block than, say, Lauren Stivrins up there at the net, that you have to play behind that player. And they've gotten that defense dialed in.
She joined us late. Stivrins not available to play today. Did not participate in serve and pass. Again, ball too short to bother Drevniak. She makes the run and finishes the play. There's Stivrins on the bench. She, about 4 days before the season started, was told, hey, you know what, you're going to play opposite. She hadn't practiced it in many years. And Omaha's had so many issues with their middles that Stivrins has been back and forth between the two. So not having her available for the middle today. Herrera finally available, but it's been a rotation.
Injuries will do that. They'll cut down your options. And this was a team that was playing some of those options, perhaps more than some of the other teams in the league, shuffling people throughout. And now they're just kind of running out of options when they have a few people banged up. Thank goodness for them, Candelaria Herrera is back, because Candy's block is something they need.
Drevniak again. Talking about people heating up. Now Drevniak has been on a bit of a roll.
Well, as she goes, the team can go, right? She's been the outlet. Kubik Banks picking up the pace has been good for them. They might have another outlet, but this has been the woman expected to carry the load. When she was up, they were defeating Atlanta in sets. When she was going down, they were losing to Atlanta in sets and ended up losing that match.
Rodriguez in again, to the delight of the crowd. Dixon. Nice dig from Dykema. Back again. That's quite a set from Jordan Poulter, finding the outside. Lexi Rodriguez, quick look by Dredniak. Oh, there's an up from Lexi. Casanova unable to do it. Dykema took a little slide.
Yeah, the rally went on so long that Laura Dykema slipped on her own sweat.
Yeah.
In the right back position because she'd been down multiple times making plays. That's a heck of a serving sub to have, right?
Right?
That level of libero as your serving sub is a huge advantage, part of that flexibility of the Omaha roster at the moment.
Just a messy play overall for Omaha. And with that, we hit our media timeout. Salt Lake with a narrow lead. Good to see Jaali Washington back on the floor. Will they get her more involved? Jaali Washington, always entertaining. Look, you got to know your angles, your lights, and where the camera is, and she always knows. Playing with her is such a joy. I mean, this is smiles. Right now, these two teammates opposite sides of the floor.
Which is perhaps more fun.
Yeah.
Because it's great to beat your enemies. It's way more fun to beat your friends.
Okay.
Way more fun. There's already been some good back and forth between the national team athletes, in between plays, in between when we had the delay earlier. Jordan Larson, Jaali Washington were right at the net each other.
Right.
Kind of ribbing each other about something, laughing.
Larson dimes the pass. So low. Claire Hoffman gets all of it.
Yeah, and she rings her up afterwards, right?
Yep.
Claire Hoffman,
Yep.
daughter of an NFL lineman and a thrower mom.
And a thrower mom.
Thrower mom at Oregon, yep. The mom now a teacher, elementary school kids, and working with kids who have learning disabilities. Dad still 6'7", like 260.
Well.
Watch out.
Yeah, there we go. Substitution. Again, we are seeing Adriana Fitzmaurice come in now on the right side for Omaha. Fitzmaurice standing 6'6".
Well, and this has been the question for Omaha, right? Consistency. First set took advantage of some Salt Lake mistakes, created their own success on their side of the net, both. Now this second set, again, a little stretch of not quite operating at optimal temperature here, where they've had free balls, haven't put them away.
Mary Lake, part of the serve receive for Salt Lake as well. Cubic Banks on top of it.
Never apologize for greatness, Maddie.
Did she say sorry?
Yeah, never apologize for greatness. Watch how she slices this off with power, mind you. Yeah, right into Claire's head.
Oh, put a helmet on.
So I like the result of her swings that we've seen. Obviously, they score points, but I really like her aggressive tone that she's setting in those swings. Her mechanics are really good. If you watch them, her double arm lift, when she approaches, she pulls both her arms back very high and puts all that power into her jump, and that's benefiting her. It's one thing to have that. It's another thing to execute that when the ball's off the net and you have to wait and then go get the ball. She's doing all of those things exceptionally well in this match so far. It's turning into points for her side.
Well, Susie Fritz told us earlier today that while her passing has always been good, she's brought her offense up to be more terminal. She and Jaali Winters were going back and forth, and that's kind of what's given Cubic Banks the edge. Another aggressive swing to your point.
So last swing, sharp angle, nearly killed Claire Hoffman. Where'd that swing go? Down the line.
Yep.
Showing you range. And part of that is set location. Kudos to Laura Dijkma for that location. That was pinpoint.
And an ace serve to follow it up.
What happens when things are going your way? You play with confidence, you start making more plays in other portions of the game. 33 playing big so far.
Mary Lake gets underneath it. Lost it for just a second. Mary Lake going out, but again, it's another kind of two Libero system on the floor, but as she goes out, back comes Ronnie Jones-Perry up front. Keep in mind, both setters are front court right now. Oh my, you gotta have somebody up on her.
This is smart setting by Laura Dijkma. This is a veteran who knows what to do, who's a coach on the floor. You find the hot hand and you feed it. It's not a complicated game sometimes, and you give her the ball wherever she is. Good long run, one-on-one, almost a half, as Haley Washington was already checking out. That's just smart setting, and now better serving to go with it. That Vader, she is a sneakily good server.
Oh,
she was that way
is.
in Athletes Unlimited as well, killing people from the line.
Yeah, spent a lot of her pro career overseas in either France or Germany. 7 years we decided she has been playing professionally before coming back to the United States. Talk about feeding the hot hitter again and again and again. Cubic Banks.
So we talked about team play on the one side, the engagement for Salt Lake City. Who dug that ball? Well, that's number 3. That's Annie Caesar in the match in the right back, making that play, extending the lead, extending the run, putting a ton of pressure on Salt Lake.
Yeah, Cesar, very good defensive player, another Libero, not in the Libero jersey today. And that's the strength. For me, the strength of the Liberos and the defensive specialists who are Liberos in other parts, it has been so impressive in this league.
Yeah, it's one of the high points.
It really is. Cesar that time again under it. Cesar out, Adriana Fitzmaurice in. Keep in mind, substitutions, 8 substitutions per set, so Susie Fritz a little bit limited on what she can do. Because they're not running a 6-2, she does have more opportunity to sub right now. Off the block, well covered by Casanova. Wong-orantes slides under the heat. Quick to the outside, a little bit broken, no middle option. That's where Kevin wanted heat, no doubt. And Dixon finishes.
When you find yourself in system, you have to find a way to get a kill. That's when you have to end rallies. I like the pre-positioning there by Justine Wong-Orantes. You notice where her eyes went? She never left the ball. Off the dig, right to the next contact.
Little tip again. And then it's Power coming back. Cubic Banks begging for it. It'll go to Larson, and this time she unloads. Oh no, what'd you say about Herrera back? Beautiful block. Came down on her side, and our ESPN NBA Friday Western Conference doubleheader starts off with Jaren Jackson and Moran as the Grizzlies take on the Mavs at 7:30 Eastern. Then Jokic and Murray and the Nuggets host KD and Devin Booker and the Suns. NBA Countdown tips off our coverage at 7 Eastern.
Salt Lake City tipping toward a second set victory here with a little comeback, and now a timeout's going to be called by Omaha off a couple of RJP plays. That one, she snuck underneath the block, the middle block, a little waterfall action, followed it up with a stuff block, back-to-back good efforts by RJP.
Tell me who's in front of him right now. That was 21.
That's right, guys. Stay up. Everybody stay up.
That's good.
What do you tell us here, Brian? So here we go. Omaha.
All right.
You're going to go in the back? And you're going to stay in the back?
Run a little deeper on that slide if you can, too, so you keep everything in front of you. Okay, here we go.
Right now.
Oh, like that, right?
Little conversation with Fitzmaurice there about the way they run the slide. She hasn't had a ton of reps in game.
Right, she was taking some reps this morning on that back slide, but saying she wants everything to stay in front of Fitzmaurice. I'm not going to set Fitzmaurice though here. I'm going to set 33. Trying to get out of a jam here. Yeah, if you can squeeze her, if you're Jay Woe and Jay Larson, but they couldn't, and she gets the ball.
Tough. Larson brings it back.
That's just a tough swing. I like the aggressiveness. Obviously the result not what you want, but I like the aggressiveness.
Cubic Banks makes it work, finding Herrera. Ronnie Jones-Perry, we were talking about power. She doesn't have a ball that she doesn't want to clobber.
Well, right, and she doesn't need much space to get into something that generates power. That ball popped up right on top of her and just took a quick little spring and then powered it over the line. Oh, I love the overhand reception. Perfect use of that.
One arm dig controlled by Ronnie Jones-Perry. Little stumble. The block's just waiting for Jordan Larson there. Omaha not using the right side.
Well, look, that was the ball they had to have, right? They passed the ball. Even though Cubic Banks had that little pause, she still popped up a reasonable ball. You have to, when you get the opportunity to get in system or get a reasonable swing, you have to score. Can't get into these long rallies. The problem is number 12 is in a rhythm. Because you targeted her on the serve and she ate that up and then went right into the approach and with authority put it down the line. I like everything about what was just done on that swing.
Substitution coming in again, Mary Lake. Former Libero for BYU.
RJP is hitting 470 at the moment, efficiency.
And what she hit the other day?
407.
407.
Yeah, so here we're breaking the cycle. No more whipsawing back and forth. On the other side, Cubic Banks is hitting over 370. Also a good number. So battle of the outside hitters is on.
Yeah, Ronnie Jones-Perry, 7 kills, make it 8 in just this set.
That's Claire Hoffman right there. We'll keep it at 7. We'll give one to Claire Hoffman. Don't steal it.
No, my bad.
Don't give it to her. You'll hear about it from her dad, big sports guy. She never gets any volleyball feedback from her dad. Never. Doesn't know the game, but she'll get isms.
Oh, isms?
Isms from her dad, yeah,
Okay.
like Lombardi quotes.
I'll take it.
In case you needed those.
My apologies, Dad. Third kill for Claire Hoffman.
And another one for Kubik Banks. Second set point.
Yeah, and for Kubik Banks, 7 kills in this set.
Transition go to her. Net violation, Washington.
And there certainly is, and so with that, Omaha stays alive. It'll be set point number 2, number 3. Broken play.
Go to Banks.
Here's your opportunity. Banks on the outside. They do exactly that, and it's a ripper.
Sometimes it's a very simple game. If you have a hot hand, feed it. It's that easy. And not only feed it, but feed it perfectly. Lara Dykema has had an outstanding match thus far, especially the second set, putting this woman and her other outside hitters where they need to be.
Talking about a hot hand. 3 kills in the first set for Kubik Banks. 8 in this set. No errors in this set for Kubik Banks.
I would keep her in the 3 gap. I think it's by far the most effective. And their left from blockers are really mad at this point. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, set that way.
Omaha fans loving it. How about this? 4 set points having fought off.
So you almost had an ace on Lake last time. I'd go right down the middle again. Keep it in, right down the middle.
Salt Lake able to finish it off after 4 set points. We're tied up at 1 set each. Ronnie Jones-Perry, a huge part of the success. In just this set, 7 kills for RJP. It's been a lot of power and a lot of precision. about a little
Okay,
generational
first one,
difference?
act like you're calling someone.
Oh my.
Okay, now hang
Is
up
there
the
a cord
phone.
on that, Jordan?
Hang up. Oh my.
There's a cord on that thing for
Make
sure.
a heart symbol with your hands.
Oh Lord. Got Lexi with the
Okay,
fingers.
pose for a group photo.
Lexi goes full
Awkward.
Japan right there.
Okay,
Yep.
show me how you roll down the car window.
Roll down the what?
The car window.
Oh, that's wax on,
What-
wax off.
What
Isn't
window
it?
is that?
That's not even like the crank.
Okay,
No, I
now
don't know
do a
what that
dance
was.
move.
I'm afraid.
That's perfect. That's actually perfect.
Oh.
Perfect.
Okay, now show me how you would pay for something.
Well, we didn't see the rotary phone there. Where you bring the 0 all the way around, let it go.
Jordan Larson just letting everyone know she carries cash.
Yeah, there you go.
Hundreds. Here you go.
Oh, that's funny. A little bit of a difference.
I love those comparisons.
Yep.
It's unfortunate how quickly you can go from being the new rookie to being the old person. Jim.
All right, set number 3. Block looking solid. They've started Omaha as with Fitzmaurice up front. Took 3 swings before Omaha gets that, or before Salt Lake gets that point.
Yeah, 2 pins just positively going off. Ronnie Jones pair on the one side collecting yet another kill, and on the other side, Cubic Banks has 11.
Well, that was part of our Adidas scouting report, right? Talking about whose pins will go off. Answer so far, both.
Yes.
Yes.
Answer yes. If you're Omaha, you really feel like you missed a chance there, and I don't mean the chance at the end of the set.
Okay.
You missed the chance in the mid part of that set to not give up a run of points and being closer, if not ahead by 1, for when you had that streak at the end, right?
Right.
You have the capability to score points, but if you can stop giving up those streaks, and it's kind of been symptomatic for both of these squads as they struggle in the mid-pack this year at this point in the season, they're just giving up too many streaks.
About halfway through the season, at this point, the Poulter-Washington connection has not looked as sharp as we have seen in other days. Again, Haley Washington in and out of the lineup. Most
Yeah, knee
recently
issue,
with a calf strain.
calf issue, right. Let's see how this serve goes. Oh, she's gone to the float.
Touch with the feather. Haiti going for high hands, doesn't get them. That's one of the things, right? When you go for high hands and don't get it, it looks spectacularly long.
Well, challenge is what you're going to get. Tamami Ashiro is going to use one here in this set.
Tamami Ashiro telling me before the season, she never intended to be a head coach, never wanted to be a head coach, because she saw how much of a grind, if you see anything here, how much of a grind it was on her coaches. What do you think? Herrera's ring finger? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to get the ring finger there just barely.
Sure was. Cut your nails. Point, Salt Lake. Tom is saying, though, that being part of Love's system where she is living in Salt Lake, a lot of her family has moved to Salt Lake as well, has really helped her kind of balance out and not have that overwhelming all or nothing life.
Well, college has changed so dramatically. There are certain things about that job that are not so attractive, but there's a lot of attractiveness in that block. Fully closed with 3 women there to meet that big attack. Well done by both pin helpers here. Nobody bailed out. Look, they're spread, they're ready, but they both reacted and jumped in. Even though Fitzmaurice is late, yeah, just reach.
Yep. Meanwhile, it was Cubic Banks who got her hands on it. Ball up, Hoffman outside. There's that connection we were talking about a moment ago. Back again, Hoffman off the block and out. Those two have played against each other an awful lot. Fitzmaurice at Stanford, Hoffman at Washington. They've seen that a time or two.
Yeah, what was that conference called again?
Yeah, it used to be something called the Pac-12 way back when.
Yeah, I remember, vaguely remember it. Doesn't seem like it's a thing anymore.
Unfortunately, no. There you get a look at the two. Fader. Tori Dixon jumps on it.
Now here's the thing about Tori Dixon. She is not fast along the net in the way that, say, a Tia Jimerson or Chiako Bagu is. She's the best reader, perhaps in the league. She can see it before it happens. She's had so much international experience. You don't have to be the fastest, quickest person if you can see what's coming in the future. She identifies plays exceptionally well.
Is that eye work?
That's eye work experience with body language as well. It's interpretation is what it is. You got to look at the thing, but you also have to know what you're looking at.
How do you get better at it?
Experience.
Time. Play.
Time. And Tori Dixon has given herself that time. Not an Olympian, but as close to an Olympian as you could be with her performance and time with the national team. Just some unfortunately timed injuries taking away that option for her in her career. But another player who has played for an exceptionally long time to make it to this moment.
Yeah, began her pro career 12 years ago, 2013.
That's too bad for Salt Lake. That's another sneaky middle server who can be highly effective. Maddie Kubik-Banks talked about that there are servers out there, the middles in particular, that have some really difficult serves.
There's some heat coming back the other way, and we just talking about it. Join us this Saturday for ABC Hockey's Saturday matinee doubleheader. The Kraken play the second game of their East Coast road trip in Philly against the Flyers. 12:30 Eastern and 9:30 Pacific. And then the Lightning host the Bruins. Pre-game coverage begins at noon Eastern. As Casanova goes back to serve, Annie Cesar re-enters for Omaha. Cesar, wong-orantes, and Jordan Larson receiving serve for Omaha. Front court setter, both sides of the net. Larson and Hoffman underneath it. Looking down the line. That's the experience of Jordan Larson.
Mentioned Tori Dixon, her ability to identify attackers, their body language, what they're going to do. Well, the same is true if you played this long on the outside. You can identify situations and what might be open, because Jordan Larson didn't look at that. She just has played enough times to know, this is probably the time for that push, and push deep.
Well, and when you've been talking about Maddie Kubik-Banks, Larson said she spent a lot of time with this athlete, Maddie Kubik-Banks, talking about making her attacking decision later to try to wait as long as possible, really evaluate. Obviously, it's going well.
That's a common theme with young hitters.
Kojima handles it perfectly, as does wong-orantes. Haiti Casanova, and it is Fader shutting it down.
Jordan Larson pulled her hands from that one. Emily Fader did not. Kept her eyes wide open.
Here's Fader, sneaky middle server as you talked about. Kojima puts it right in Poulter's hands.
Yeah, that was a wonderful scoop by Kojima. It's very difficult to back up and then push the ball accurately forward. Your momentum's going away, you're trying to scoop the ball back to the net. Yeah, high fives definitely in order there.
Herrera. Now off of one leg, right, on the slide, and it's not the leg she had problems with. Here comes the substitution again, Fitzmaurice. Dykema now back court. Poulter still front court. Ace serve, just dropping it.
Yeah, if you could hit it this way all the time, you would. Watch how it falls off the table here. For the server, that is just an absolute nightmare because you think it's coming at you and then just off the edge.
Haiti, like a freight train, handled by wong-orantes. Yeah, Larson got hands.
So ruthless efficiency is worth more than just a single point.
Okay.
Right there, one dig, transition play right back on you. No long rally. You don't really have a chance to tell your opponent. You're just going to put the ball right back, go back to serve again. The more you can do that, the more you can really affect emotionally your opponent. Atlanta has done that a number of times in streaks this year. First ball transition kills versus a first ball side out, which is what that just was for Salt Lake City.
Omaha stacked left.
That works, but I don't like that set.
Yeah, it wasn't beautiful.
But setters going quick when the ball is passed quick. It's kind of a, I don't know, in their head. It's quick. I can go quick because no one will be there. Yeah, your hitter won't be there either.
Well, we heard Susie Fritz talk about Adriana Fitzmaurice, talk to her about adjusting her approach. As they get the point, it is Omaha this time, 1st to 12 in set number 3. League One Volleyball is presented by Adidas and by Love Finals, where the first League One Volleyball champion will be crowned. Join us April 10th, 11th, and 13th at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville. Tickets are now on sale. Go to LOVBfinals.com for more details. See how they make the heart? Kind of like Lexi. Now, I love this. Not only are there pro teams as part of League One Volleyball, but there are club teams as well, and you're seeing some carryover.
Get a block, do push-ups. Now, listen, trickle-down economics, that doesn't work. Don't tell me it works, doesn't work. Trickle-down celebrations, yes.
I love it.
What are the push-ups?
Well, okay, yeah, this is just a little bit different, but I love the spirit, right? If you want somebody to follow, this is a great tradition to follow. Oh, fans had to hold their breath for a moment off of that. Not on that one. Washington streaks across to the other side to get that block.
The ball bounces in funny ways sometimes, and here it perches. You just have to wait. Drop down, get your butt low, scoop it out.
Mary Lake. No good, and now you got Kojima and Mary Lake near Claire Hoffman. To receive serve. Lexi Rodriguez back in.
So you've upped your defense here if you're Salt Lake and you're passing, but you've given away some offense. RJP out of the middle back. But they weren't utilizing her a ton.
No good. Lexi Rodriguez, every time she serves, by the way, there's a streak. She creates streaks. I haven't seen her serve just once.
There's a stat you don't see a lot. Serves per rotation.
Yep.
It should be more common.
Yeah, I agree.
How many times you serve each time you rotate back to serve? If it's over 2, you're doing an outstanding job. And that rotation is an outstanding rotation. So kill these ones. There you go.
Yeah, there's another.
And again, I think right now, if I have a player of the match, I know you want Cubic Banks. I know. But I want Laura Dykema. How many one-on-ones have you seen? How many perfect sets to the outside for 33 to hit have you seen? How many times has she gone to the right person in the right situation? I'm all about the setter right now on the Omaha side.
Another tough serve from Rodriguez. Takes away their middle option. Quick. Hoffman able to get on top of it and break the spell. Well done by Claire Hoffman.
I had a fun conversation with Claire Hoffman yesterday, and I asked her, I said, when does this league stop being friendly?
Oh, yeah.
At some point, it's got to stop because there's real things at stake here. And she said, yeah, I feel like we're kind of rounding into shape where if we play our best volleyball, we can beat anyone.
Yeah.
And some of that competitive aspect is starting to come into play.
Look, there's money on the line, too.
Yeah.
We would not be friendly if there was money on the line between us. Is there money on the line between us?
We can make it less friendly.
Okay.
Have to convert this.
Another strong attack, touching hands. Cubic Banks. Right at the head. What is it that's making Cubic Banks so consistently lethal today?
She's in a good position with the ball, good relationship to the ball, but she wasn't there. So you asked me more broadly? Yes, she's been in good rhythm. Here she wasn't, but she made an excellent choice. She still drove the ball to a point, a location. She was deliberate about it. And then when things are aligned a little bit better, take a huge cut. Tight, she got her feet to it. She extended, she's using all of her height and power, all of her capability in that swing. And it starts with her feet. Watch her close to the inside here. She waits. Then she closes to the inside and she turns back towards the line. You can't do that if you're not close enough to the ball. You're stuck with just the angle if the ball's out in front of you, and it tends to drop low here. She gets there to that same relationship we talked about with RJP earlier, and then you can take the ball high hands down the line where there are no defenders.
Yeah, we're just on our way down a little bit. Start slow, right, when you know they're out of system. So we time that up a little bit better so we don't get them off the top. Yeah, out of system. Anything out of system, to be honest, we're just way too early, right? Yeah. Sorry, thank you. Where am I?
Maddie Cubic Banks, I talked about that experience in Italy, and she said it was a dream to play there. It was a dream to get to that point, and she did it. She said the coach got fired at Christmas.
Oh, nice.
I felt like we were battling all the times, and we had new owners that year for the club, and they were car salesmen. And so they were all nervous about everything. I said, oh, so you got the full European experience with a giant panic button. They don't have the easy button. They have the panic button.
The big panic button?
Yeah, it's 100 times larger than the easy button, and they stomp on it all the time.
All the time. You, of course, played overseas in Belgium, Austria, and Italy.
Yep. But it's good. She said it was great to get exposed to that level. And that in the United States, you get so used to collegiate volleyball being the top level. It's not.
Right.
She said worldwide, there are 2 to 3 types of serves from almost every player that they can use in different situations. Those pro players, she particularly pointed out Lubian, the middle blocker from Italy, now gold medalist, said, listen, she has a nasty hybrid.
Well,
which is true.
And now you've got League One volleyball in the United States, right? So NCAA volleyball, not the top level. Fans able to see their favorite players and get educated about overseas players. We see Matsui come in, Cesar come in.
I love the number of top-level foreigners that are being brought into this league. They want to play here. Laura Dykema has been at the top of the world for a long time as one of the setters. Of course, we have Libera.
Yeah.
Minami Kojima right now making this play here. She's top level, an Olympian this last summer.
Sure is. Meanwhile, Skylar Fields comes in, immediate impact. And Kojima all smiles.
Always,
Yep.
always. A smiling assassin. She's digging your best shot and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like a tasty treat.
That's really strong serve.
That ball's too tight.
Not finished. Another opportunity. How about Laura Dykema with a swing? Minami Kojima goes back, and Hoffman ends the conversation for Salt Lake.
Claire Hoffman performed well at Athletes Unlimited. She came from the Pan Am Games to Athletes Unlimited in the fall. And she said she felt it was great because she could kind of manage her load there, and then got here and felt good. Did a lot of work in the weight room to get strong for this season. And this is about the time that starts to pay off. You're working the weight room, you don't necessarily see that in the first few weeks. You see that mid-season in the doldrums of the year. You still have your legs under you, you're still feeling good physically, you can go match to match, you can play in back-to-back days as they do here in this league. So that work is important for just this stretch, the playoff push.
4-1 run, and now Omaha takes a timeout.
Oh, tell everybody. Tell everybody.
Probably cubic, okay? 33. High ball, shift, middle back shift, okay? Here we go, ladies.
Hey, let's go.
Talking about cubic banks, talking about number 33. I love this part, though, looking at Poulter talking with Skylar Fields. Remember that Poulter is not setting Skylar Fields. She's on the bench right now, but it speaks to your point of the bench players seeing things from a different perspective. Vader handled. And that's what they were talking about, Maddie cubic banks.
I would want her even to get a little closer with her feet, but again, she's utilizing her height exceptionally well with her arm. She's attacking the ball high with pace and direction. That was deliberate, just to smash it through, kind of flat and to the line once again, where there are fewer defenders than that angle. She's making some nice choices.
The phrase that Susie Fritz used about her was that they're getting a return on the things they've invested in with cubic banks earlier in this season.
I think you knew it, right? That there's a lot of players in this league that you're seeing them get time now. They've had to be patient because these rosters are loaded.
Oh. And they've all been the stars of their teams.
The go-tos, the hammers.
Ronnie Jones-Perry re-enters, speaking of hammers. Oh my.
That's a couple times that's happened, and if I'm Tamamiya Shiro, we're gonna have a little work to do this upcoming week in the gym.
I wonder how often they're seeing this combination.
Well, Skylar Fields can't drop out like this. She's going nowhere. She's dropping to the outside when she has to stay on the inside. You gotta play the first contact first before you go to hit.
Ronnie Jones-Perry, did she get the end line? Wow.
Regardless of the result, I like the aggression on that play. You're gonna have to take some swings on off plays and drive the ball right to the back line.
Right, she was at the 3-meter line. Cesar in the center of Omaha's serve receive.
Did you catch it there with the set?
What's that?
A little lean back and then a flick forward.
Dykema, famous for that.
Yeah, the little lean back and then send it forward. Watch her body language here.
Oh, yeah.
Everything says I'm going overhead. A little extra lean to the head, a little move of the arms, and then a throw to the outside.
But Washington didn't bite on it, which was interesting, too.
Well, she's been around the block.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you have a more inexperienced middle blocker in there.
Oh, yeah, popcorn popper for sure.
Right?
For that other middle blocker.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the world's best blocker in Tokyo.
Right.
Come on.
So Haley Washington is like, I got the scouting report.
A writer of essays.
She's a fascinating person.
You want a good conversation? Engage number 15.
Yeah. So ball did cross the plane of the net.
All right, so you got to dial it in now. This is a pivotal moment for both teams, right? Anyone can take this set. Who streaks to the end? Who's clean in transition?
First touch, good. Unforced attack error. And locked up. Susie Fritz will take her final timeout of the set. Remembering that Omaha had a really nice lead. It was 17-12 at one point in Omaha's favor.
So this is tough for Omaha because they're not in a great rotation. They're stuck here at 21 all now, and they don't have their hottest hand in the front row. So I'd try and find a way if you could squeeze her and maybe get her that big attack that they fed her earlier where they got the half on Washington. It wasn't even really one-on-one. Washington was already kind of taken off. I might try and find Kubik Banks out of the middle back, yeah.
Yeah, just keep them here. Make a good set. They're good where they're at. I don't think you need to change it. Then they're just playing. You got Fitz on the left in transition. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, as an offense, you've been clicking along pretty good at 320. Jordan Larson's numbers also good despite that last error at 360 efficiency. Those are good numbers. It's just you've gone to her twice already.
Kubik Banks on the cover. Fitzmaurice takes a look.
And gets bailed out.
Net violation on Salt Lake.
So now Kubik Banks is back to the front row. I know where the ball needs to go in transition. If you're Salt Lake, you ought to be hedging your bets that way anyway.
Katie Casanova will be setting the block against Kubik Banks. Washington slows it down.
Strength against strength.
Ripper.
Strength against strength right now. 12 and 33 are going to go head to head for the end of this set. Well, until 12 goes to the back row.
Well, there's that.
You can still feed her out of the back row.
Yeah, you certainly can. Meanwhile, I like that Washington got herself up and available on that last one. Kojima lays it out. Here's the opportunity. If you're Dykema, where do you go? Wow, another one from Manami Kojima. I see what you're saying on the decision making for Dykema.
Yeah. And
example.
If you're Salt Lake also right now, I would completely not abandon Fitzmaurice, but I would force them to set her. I would cheat. I would left front push the middle right in front of Herrera.
Will Lexi Rodriguez have another streak? We'll have to wait to find out. Timeout. Salt Lake.
Yeah, they're trailing by one, Salt Lake, but listen, it's not for lack of effort and trying here because these are good swings that Manami Kojima is going to eat up here. In that left back, this is where she excels in that left back position on a hard-driven ball. I think that's what makes her different than a lot of other players, is her ability to focus on the hard-driven. Watch her get underneath and stab it. And that one, she didn't quite get a little too tight, but merely the fact that she got under it is already outstanding. That's her separator.
Manami Kojima is a delight, and when she's waiting to receive serve, if you're watching in person, she'll put her arms out in front of her and stare down the line. I asked, what do you say? This right there that you just saw. She's saying, I can do it, I can do it. And she does. Poulter out to Hoffman, delivering. Tori Dixon back up front in the middle as Haley Washington's in the back. No libero on the floor for Salt Lake. And you do have Ronnie Jones-Perry as an offensive option in the backcourt.
You do, but you fortunately have another hot pin too. Hoffman,
Yep.
340, including that last kill. She's in double figures.
Cubic Banks. Hoffman moves it around. Oh, that right hand of Casanova is not to be used.
And what's happening here is Omaha's not getting production out of the opposite spot, so they're just ganging up defense and offense on Kubik Banks. She's taking some pretty good cuts, but that's just a good hand position. The previous one was a good cut deep, but the defense is there because they're not worrying much about the opposite, the other side pin.
Manami Kojima having a moment, not sure what's happening there, but Salt Lake
Looking for divine intervention here
perhaps
for the set.
Set point. And how about Haley Washington? She's had that ball spinning on her finger. Well, she just took it down. It's spinning for a long time. Set point, Salt Lake. Still alive. Block, sending it back. Swinging for the set. How about it? The middles always want to be setters.
Put that on the highlight reel.
Right? So good.
Back set from Haley Washington to an aggressive swing again on the outside from Hoffman. All off of some excellent defense by Manami Kojima in that set. Salt Lake pushes through. They're looking to close it out as we head to a fourth.
でもオリンピックに出たことはすごくやっぱり思い出には一番鮮明に残ってるかな。やっぱオリンピックで勝つのはすごい難しいなって思いました。でどうして人を思いやる気持ちとか みんなで何か目標を達成するっていうことはすごく楽しいし、やりがいがあるってことを感じました。
You know, for Manami Kojima, the way that Japan runs their defensive and their libros is they have a serve receive libero and a defensive libero. She's a defensive libero, and then Kotoe Inoue is their serve receive libero, who's also in this league. Just gives you an idea as you look at these numbers. Just incredible liberos.
And Japan Rising, much the way they're being a league in America is important, Japan Rising is important for the world popularity of volleyball and the financial support to the game. Hosted so many world championships, World Cups. Unfortunately, the world did not really get to meet Japan given the events of 2020 and 21. I was looking forward to the world discovering the place that I went on my very first international trip. It is a unique and wonderful place, and hopefully there's another chance for that. But they've been such a big supporter of volleyball. They love volleyball in Japan, and their national teams being good is good for the overall sport. And perhaps a good entry here for Omaha into the lineup.
Well, this has been an important point because we talked about how thin Omaha has been in the middle. So just the other day, they got Chiamaka Wokolo. She is number 55 in the middle. Welcome to the league.
Paying dividends, a stuff and now a control.
Running back and forth, they are making Wokolo work. Ball dropped down, and Omaha point.
And a couple of changes here for Omaha as they look for the solution. That was Vicky Savard dropping that ball, number 7.
Yeah, double sub. Pass is good. There's the connection with Washington and Poulter.
Yeah, and this is Omaha searching for a solution at the opposite spot. So you're going to see Savard into the opposite and see if they can get a little pop out of that position and destabilize Salt Lake City. Ever so close in the last 2 sets.
Back again, first swing from Savard. Trying to go off it and out, doesn't quite get it.
So this is where Salt Lake City really needs to dominate. They have to be blocking at the net because they are not getting it done defensively. So this is a good sign for Salt Lake City. They're minus 61 in digs to their
Minus
opponents.
61, wow.
Salt Lake City, yep. But they're even on blocks. So it's not a function of them blocking everything. It's just a part of the game that hasn't come along. And in chatting with Claire Hoffman, she said, I feel like we've made some strides defensively. We've kind of dialed in what we want to do. So watch and see if they get some more defensive opportunities to go with the offense. And you mentioned the connection earlier. Now it's cleaned up a little bit, that connection from Washington and Poulter.
It sure is, and they were able to get Lexi Rodriguez off the back line with just one serve this time. You know, when fans who are new to the game are looking at aces and errors, it isn't even the stat to look at. It's how much trouble you're getting him in and how long you're standing back there, as you were talking about, in that rotation.
Good pace to the outside, and this swing here is high, fast, and deep. All good things. You want to attack that corner opposite you if you're going to go into the seam.
Savard's first serve.
Out.
Maybe she was doing a bunch of those push-ups, just a little too strong. Casanova to the back line to serve, both setters front court. Scoop and underneath, Ronnie Jones-Perry. Claire Hoffman so aggressive on that tight set, just does not get a touch.
That is the right idea.
Here is Cubic Banks. Thader up front in the middle for Omaha. You have an awareness with her, such a force blocking.
Trying to go at Laura Dykema there, that mismatch with Hoffman on the outside. And that has been one of the adjustments, playing behind Laura Dykema. Not a small setter at over 6 feet tall, but certainly not taking up the same space that an opposite would in a 6-2 scenario.
Hoffman owning this spot with 12 kills today. Stater. And here she comes again, up in the middle, Chiamaka Wokolo, number 55. Pass is good. Dykema on the joust. Dixon, like a sky hook.
Now the ball's got to come up. That ball has to come up, and it's got to be the left back there that has to pick it up. Tough when you're the middle blocker.
Dixon serve. How about that? Wokolo long run. Casanova plants and power. Casanova, a little dance afterwards.
How is the momentum of the match going, right? That's the question.
You feel it with Salt Lake.
It's 6-7, but I'm feeling Salt Lake a lot more than +1.
For sure.
I'm feeling them at about a +3 or 4.
And passing been problematic these last couple for Omaha.
And Omaha had been winning that battle until this point. This is when, if you're Omaha, you can't go in a shell. You got to keep communicating, keep the positive energy that you had. You almost have to fake it till you make it here in the fourth. A little fake fire before the real fire can start. Problem is, Salt Lake's making some plays.
Oh my, a rip from Ronnie Jones-Perry. You know, this is quite the entry for Chiamaka Wokolo coming into this league. And she did not have much time to prepare.
And this is unfortunate for Omaha, because if you're Omaha, it's been close, but you've been losing this streak of 5 in a row. And what is this match right now? It's been close, but you're losing. And you start thinking, oh no, here we go again.
Watching Susie Fritz talk with Wokolo. On Thursday is when Chia got the call saying, hey, you got to come here. Saturday signed contract, flight to Omaha on Sunday, physical. First practice was just 2 days ago, and now it's her first match. League One Volleyball has partnered with Tiffany on a handcrafted trophy, which the winning team will receive at the Love Finals. It's going to take place April 13th at the Yum Center in Louisville. Tiffany has created some of the most iconic trophies in sport, and now League One Volleyball is joining that prestigious list. The Love Championship Trophy will be on display at select matches in each pro city in the lead up to the finals, where fans can get their picture taken with it. Love a little Tiffany. Everybody wants that blue box, that's for sure, at the end of this league. We've been saying front court setter.
All right, there's a smile and some positive energy. Omaha, trailing by 2. So what if you're down 2-1? I feel like now's the moment when they can either lose their positivity because of all the factors we talked about, or you can fight through and change the script here.
Wokolo in the middle. Savard covers herself. It's clean. Ronnie Jones parry. Uh-oh. On the floor. Are you kidding me? Dykema? Poulter goes right back on her while she's down.
As you should. Take any advantage that you can. Oh, that is not good. That's another slip.
Yeah, and then you can see Dykema look down to see where that spot is, and that's where she loses it. Do we have a spare jersey for her? Like, you know what I mean? Put on another. She's worked very hard.
Well, that move is from an old volleyball video game. I think it was called Super Spike Volleyball, where you could be a crab on your back and the ball would bounce off your guy. After he got killed in the middle back with a previous swing, yeah.
You should be in that TikTok with Lixie Rodriguez, because I'm sure she would have no idea what you're talking about, because
no,
I don't know.
No, that's an old person thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Casanova, Doug. We're not seeing an opportunity for middles to attack for Omaha. Cubic Banks, swing after swing.
Yes, please. Yeah, more of that. The more you can get RJP under the ball like that, you can hear it when she contacts the ball. That is a different sound from number 12.
Maddie Cubic Banks, 45 attack attempts on her team. Next closest is Larson with 27. And she's still finding ways to make it happen.
46.
Yeah.
Chuck another kill in there as well.
On the other side, much more balance, because Ronnie Jones Perry, Heidi Casanova, and Claire Hoffman all around the 30 mark.
Right, they've gotten production out of the opposite. They have 2 outside hitters going off in terms of raw numbers. But I like what both sides have done at the pins, comparative to other matches.
Savard finds the spot.
I think Jordan Poulter wants that one back. That might have been out. But I really like the way that Cubic Banks dropped off on that play too, playing her defensive responsibility right off the net.
Pass is good, quick to the pin. Wow, it's Kojima, one-arm stab over it. One-on-one. Interesting. 2 softer swings, if you will, from Cubic Banks.
Well, you'll forgive her if she's a little winded. It's not that she's...
I don't even mean that. I mean, she's mixing it up.
Yeah.
You couldn't blame them if they're on their feet ready to receive heat. Beautiful pass, options open. Whatever might have been off at the beginning of that connection is now rock solid. The more that Salt Lake can pass well and get to these middles.
So they are kind of squeezing Cubic Banks here out of the receive. They're passing with almost 2 people on the Omaha side. I like it. I like Omaha doing this.
Hoffman
Smartly done.
Got the Midas touch now. Everything she touches.
So smart mechanically here. She closes inside, so she gets that orientation with the ball, then she takes it back to the line, maintaining height on the crisp contact to the back line. That is how you would draw it up in the clinic or in the instruction manual.
Little ball, they find her. And the block coming back. Now you're really feeling that momentum on Salt Lake side.
Yeah, they're taking it with good plays. Claire Hoffman back-to-back good plays, revisiting that swing. Watch her footwork here. Called off, ball set, and I like it being inside. See that big step close to the inside, and then that orientation. See how tall she was when she contacted that ball? You can drive the ball in a variety of different places when you do that.
Kubik Banks, third time. Just tipping the ball. Dykema, great dig. Kubik Banks, they're going to set her till her shoulder falls off.
Kubik Banks, and if you remember, Maddie Kubik, when she was playing as Maddie Kubik at Nebraska, I said, well, how did you and your husband meet with this Banks on the end here? And her and husband Bryant is an offensive lineman, played at Nebraska, played at Rice, now prepping for the NFL fall season, right? Trying to get an undrafted free agent spot. So they met at the early enrollment meeting.
Okay, for the athletes.
They were both early enrollees, and there were a group that started hanging out, football and volleyball, who were there in that first semester when they're just for the spring, graduating high school early and started dating after a little while.
Right after high school?
It's been 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, they're married. Said that actually when she went overseas, they had 10 days together over 9 months.
Oh, wow.
That was it.
Yeah.
He was still playing football. She's playing professionally in Italy. Everyone meeting their dreams.
A lot of WhatsApp happening right there.
Yeah, exactly. She said, we made it work. He's currently in Texas, and good luck with the NFL situation coming up in the fall.
Conversion, Savard.
Now, you'd love to just get a little bit out of that spot, right?
Yeah.
If Savard can pick up, say, 4 or 5 kills in this set, that would take a lot of pressure off Kubik Banks. If you take, say, 3 to 4 swings or 5 swings out of her pocket, that would work well for a set victory and a 5th set push.
Yeah, it's interesting that they went through Drevniak, Fitzmaurice, and now have Savard. Great example of the depth.
Well, Drevniak is 7 of 13 hitting 380, but not in the match anymore.
Now, she was sitting down for a while. I'm wondering.
Yeah, she's been a little banged up throughout the season at different points.
Yeah, she's got her sweatshirt on now.
And then Fitzmaurice came in, was 3 of 9, got blocked a couple of times. That wasn't the solution this night. Might be a solution on another night, but here maybe it's Savard.
There you go, and she's got some ice. No, I thought she did on that left leg. It's a knee pad. She's had a fun time adjusting. She said, you know, when I heard I was going to Nebraska, people said, well, it's just different. Nebraska, volleyball in Nebraska is different. She's like, I didn't know what that meant until she went to Nebraska's sweep over Wisconsin. And then she was like, oh, I see what you're saying here.
It is different.
It
Always
is
has been.
Very different. I asked her about her adjustment to the United States because Justine Wong-Orantes' first year overseas was playing in Germany with Drevniak. So they like the symmetry that Justine can help Drevniak adjust here.
Yeah, a really nice job done at the university, first by Terry Pettit, and then of course continued by John Cook for 25 years, recently retired. You know, Danny Busboom-Kelly will carry that on DBK.
Yep.
Carry on that tradition, of course, an alum of the program, and what a bunch of great work she did at Louisville with her time there. And speaking of Louisville, we're going to be there, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. The KFC Yum Center, where the NCAA championship was. It's also where League One Volleyball's championship is going to be.
A clever little follow there from Dykema. And look at who's on top.
Yeah, they just took control.
Vader at the line. This could be a good scoring rotation for him if Vader can keep him off balance.
Yep, and here comes Chiamaka Wokolo in the middle. Again, we talked about it. She's had 2 practices.
And Vader's tough serving could make it easier for her at the line.
Larson, too sharp. We're really, in my opinion, you tell me what you think, seeing some masterful substitutions on both sides, more than we usually do, with Skylar Fields coming in here as well. We're seeing Cesar play. It's just more, they're making good use of these 8 substitutions, where early in the season we weren't seeing a variety.
Some of it is forced, and some of it is figuring out the pieces that you have, and for the coaches to realize the amount of talent that they have. There's a lot of pressure to get that talent on the floor in different roles, keep people happy but also engaged. It's a tough challenge for Susie Fritz. Even though she has all that collegiate experience, that does not all translate to the pro level.
Yeah. Wow, that's pro block. Haley Washington looking really strong after being out with the calf.
I'm going to give that one to the right hand of RJP. And that's going to be 10 blocks now to 7, the lead for Salt Lake City.
Let's revisit our Adidas scouting report, Kevin, and see where we are.
Do you serve J-Wo? The answer is no. They went after Kubik Banks mostly, so they did not try that. Just 5 receptions, so they're staying away from her. Omaha, what category are you going to win? Well, 7 aces is a good one on those 3 service errors right on. You're going to need to win some more categories here late. You have one outside hitter who's been going off in Kubik Banks. You could use a little bit of help there in terms of those pins. Ryan Jones-Perry, 18 kills. Another exceptional performance for her. First back-to-back performance since early in the season, so that's a real positive thing for Tama Miyashiro and the women in yellow. It's also worth pointing out the excellent work done on the other side of the attack there on the pins, opposite of Ronnie Jones-Perry. You talk about Claire Hoffman, who's now hitting a little bit more pedestrian 280, but she got 13 kills on 31. She's in double figures, also taking some big swings for them.
She sure is.
A lot of pin performances tonight.
And range, right? We've seen her hard cross. We've seen her down the line several times. Ball's wide.
This could really hurt for Omaha.
They've lost 5 in a row coming into this match.
Well, 6 in a row, and then these scores, 25-20, 25-23. After you dominated the first set.
Right.
That is the story of this losing streak.
Gabby Blossom.
The block has come alive.
Yeah, sure has.
It's a wall of Washington. You cannot get past it. It's the new national monument.
Oh boy. Watching her, she is in her zone now. Blossom, backcourt. Okolo behind, Larson up front, sent back by Skylar Fields. Matsui. Claire Hoffman with a finish. Just talking about her variety of offense, using her in the backcourt too.
Claire Hoffman said, if we can play to our level, what we know we are capable of, we can play with anyone. That is true, and they can beat anyone. A lot of people want to take away the victory against Houston. A lot of missing pieces for Houston in that one. Salt Lake 1-3.
Yep.
This is a more convincing effort here, and will keep Salt Lake off the bottom of the heap. They'll get a much earned rest for the weekend if they can close out these 3 points.
Blossom Savard. Jaali Winters in passing, and again, trying all kinds of different things with Jordan Larson off the court right now. So now you got Kubik Banks and Jaali Winters next to each other. Don't see that seam very often. And it's just Salt Lake. They sit at match point.
Seven blocks in this set.
In this set, Tori Dixon. Quick outside, Jaali Winters. Credit her, not easy to come in late in the 4th set, take a nice swing to fight off the first match point.
Don't overthink match point number 2. Feed number 12.
There you go.
That's it.
She's on the floor now. Oh! Wow, how about that, Savard and Wokolo?
That feels good.
A week ago, Wokolo sitting on her couch. Now, first pro match, big block. A little bit of trouble saved by Fields. Remember, it is match point for Salt Lake. Wong-orantes underneath it. Where will Blossom go? Back to Savard. Ronnie Jones-Perry, no question about it. Jaali Winters, it's sent back again, and it ends fittingly on a Salt Lake block, 8th of this set. Another win for Tama Miyashiro. More heartbreak for Omaha.
I asked what category Omaha was going to win. Well, it ended up being a category that Salt Lake won. That's the determining factor, and that is the blocks category. Unbelievable performance blocking the ball.
Taking a look at the standings after this match, Salt Lake grinding away at it for Omaha, trying to figure it out. Haley Washington, terrific performance in the middle. Looking at the standings after this, Omaha drops to just above Madison at 4 and 6. Salt Lake, meanwhile, sliding into 3rd. These two teams will meet again April 3rd. Salt Lake has won the first 2 meetings over Omaha. And of course, Jordan Poulter setting the offense, running the offense from this Salt Lake team. Multi-time Olympic medalist. Watch her in action as she's signaling. Gets everybody involved with Haiti Casanova, Ronnie Jones-Perry, Haley Washington, and she is standing by with Kevin Barnett.
Jordan, a win on the road, big one for your side, staying off the bottom of the rack here and a couple of victories in a row. What worked tonight for the game plan?
We've talked a lot about just trying to be where our feet are, and regardless of what happens in the previous point, good or bad, we are just trying to reset and be good for one another in that current touch.
Pretty nice performance by both pins. How similar are they, and what did you like from them tonight?
Yeah, I thought our pins did a great job holding up passing and attacking some edges, and our middles did a great job of holding and getting us some looks to the pins where they had some space to be successful.
You guys close it out with 8 blocks. Is that what your practice gym looks like? Is it hard to get kill?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on swinging a ton, and I think it's made our blocking better. And just really proud of how we are able to grind through some good, bad, and ugly.
All right, the reward is go home with a victory for the weekend. We'll see you next week.
Awesome, thanks so much.
Not done yet with League One volleyball. Taking a look at this week's schedule coming up. Headed to Atlanta. Houston versus Atlanta tomorrow, and then Saturday a doubleheader. Madison, Houston, and Austin versus Atlanta, who sits atop the League One volleyball standings. What a match as Salt Lake outlasted Omaha. Strong pin performances all the way around. For Kevin Barnett and our entire crew, I'm Anne-Marie Anderson. Join us on ESPN2 Saturday, March 29th as Madison takes on Austin at 10 Eastern. But first, next Friday, the 2 hottest teams face off on ESPN+. Top-ranked Atlanta takes on number 2 Houston at 8 Eastern. Thank you for watching League One Volleyball.